Welcome to the Morning Ramble. I'm Matt.
I'm Juan.
What did you do with Eric?
But how's it going?
I'm alive. Having a good time.
Yeah.
Just enjoying life. It hasn't been a slow news week, but it's been a pretty boring news week.
What are you talking about? We got Grandpa Joe. No, we're gonna talk about that later.
Well, it's like basically, if we don't say something about this,
yeah,
like people will be like, "All right, what's going on? Like, aren't you guys the main source of news for everyone?"
That's right. We are equal across the board in criticism.
The whole Trump-Mexican border shutdown thing. Earlier in the week, he's like, "I'm giving them a week to comply, or I'm shutting down the border." And then, like, a day later, he was like, "Actually, no, we're going to give them a year." This is what happened this week. That was the big news story.
Yeah, I saw the...
But I saw
the caravan was back in the news.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm bored of it. So... There you go.
I'm bored of citizenship.
We're gonna talk about things that matter.
That's right.
To the children of America and other countries.
That's right. So let's talk about something that matters to our brothers over in the UK. So Prince Harry says that Fortnite shouldn't be allowed in the UK. I know you were listening to NPR and heard that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was only a snippet of it.
Yeah, well, I saw a bunch of people talking about it, but basically during his visit to the YMCA in London.
There's YMCAs in London?
I didn't know they exercise. Prince Harry warned against the addictive nature of social media and Fortnite, calling the game irresponsible because it's created to addict. We're going to come back to that real quick. So I found this article here. Basically, he called the game addictive, like I said before. It shouldn't be allowed. Prince Harry said that Fortnite's created to addict an addiction, and it's an addiction to keep you in front of your computer for as long as possible. Real quick, that's the point. When video game creators are making their game or whatever they're doing, they want it to be in the spotlight as long as possible. They want you to want to come back to it.
Especially online multiplayer games.
Yeah, exactly. So the Duke went on to say that parents have got their hands up. They don't know what to do about it. It's like waiting for the damage to be done. I'll throw the rest of this article up, but I just want to let's go back in time 15 years ago.
Okay.
What was the game that was talked about that people were thinking about making laws of banning it? No. Grand Theft Auto. Do you remember when Grand Theft Auto first came out? I think it was on PlayStation. Was it the third one?
Grand Theft Auto 3?
3, I think. I know there was one of them that was like sparked a debate because it changed something. Like,
I mean, there was 3 because that was the first one that went into 3D.
Okay, yeah.
Like before Grand Theft Auto was like 1.5 top-down view. Yeah. But 3 went into 3D. I mean, there have been these controversies forever.
This is an old discussion.
We've had it in Resident Evil and.
Doom.
Night Trap, that was a big one.
Yeah.
So it's like
Call of Duty, obviously.
The parents don't know what to do. I mean, it's pretty easy.
Talking about it.
Listen, parents. Speaking as not a parent, here's what you do if your kid is playing too much video games. Take the video game away from your kid.
Well, here's my point of view. Like, with the whole video game thing, everyone's been talking about, is it addictive? Does it cause kids to have violence? No, it doesn't. It just doesn't. Our generation, that we like video games. The fact that the Duke of whatever, Prince Harry, I don't know, is talking like this, he's just out of touch, in my opinion. He's just out of touch. And yeah, is there kids addicted to Fortnite? Absolutely. There's kids addicted to many different video games. But I think the point is, it's not the role of the government or the royal family to dictate to anyone what parents should or shouldn't do with their children. It's up to the parents to be responsible adults and limit it. I can easily say that, like, with my daughter, I know a lot of parents have like a time frame of when they can have like the internet or a tablet. Like my parents did that to me. I don't. I just say you can have it whenever, well, right now she's grounded. But normally She can have it whenever she wants. And honestly, she doesn't really go to it that much. She forgets about it because that's not something I'm withholding from her. Right. She would rather go outside and play on her bike, or she would rather do something else more fun because, that's just how it is. So to each their own. But
yeah,
Fortnite,
I mean,
the devil's game.
When it comes to like listening to Prince Harry, I have a difficult time with it because he seems like a fairly well-educated dude. But like, do I really want to listen to a guy whose family history is just riddled with incest? Just riddled with it. Like, do I really want to listen to that guy?
I don't think anymore.
Could be a cover-up.
Well, honestly, and people in the news were talking about it, over here in the U.S. It's everywhere. People always talking about it, and it's simply, it's not up to you. And that's my final statement. It is up to the parents, and it's none of your business. So,
yeah,
that's how I feel.
If he tries to ban Fortnite, there's going to be like pirated copies of Fortnite.
Yeah, and if you have some
on the black market,
you can't ban something like that. And if parents are just like, I'm up in arms, I don't know what to do. Please, Prince Harry, save us. Government, tell me what I should do with my you know what? You should have your child taken away if you can't handle it. So
I don't know what to do.
He just sits there and plays. I ask him nicely to come eat dinner, and he tells me no and off.
The only thing he'll eat anymore are Hot Pockets and Mountain Dew.
Sounds pretty good. All right, so all right, real quick. I know it was a slow news cycle, but something else did come down that not many people are talking about, but I thought I would pull it up. We spoke about this back during the election. We were talking about the governor's race and the impact it has on the 2020 census. Do you remember that?
Right, yes.
So Trump recently said that he wants to add that citizenship question. Did you hear about that on the news? This was a couple months ago.
I didn't.
So Trump and his administration suggested that for the 2020 census, we add the citizenship question, which is pretty much, are you a U.S. citizen, to everyone's census. A judge, I think it was in Maryland, Judge George Hazel, is the third judge to rule against the addition of the citizenship question to the 2020 census. The Supreme Court is going to be deciding on that question in June. So in 2 months, they're going to decide on that. They announced Friday that it will provide a speedy review of a lower court ruling on the Trump administration's plan to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census. If they agree with it, this will be the first time it's added to the census since 1950. I don't know how you feel about it, because the goal of the census obviously is to update our population count so that we have the correct amount of representatives in Congress and state government, and it just all down the board. And we only do this once every 10 years. I agree with the citizenship question just because to me it just seems like a no-brainer. But I don't know what the motives would be not to have it. The judge, I didn't read the whole ruling. They listed that it was against the Constitution or the civil rights. I don't know how that's even possible.
I mean, a lot of people, if they're filling out the census,
yeah,
and they are not a citizen, they will either just lie on it,
yeah,
or not. And that's the thing that kind of gets me on it, because we want the best information possible. So if you add a question in that may or may not have real-world ramifications for the person answering the question, I'm not saying it would.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that a person who is not a citizen reading that would be like, that would give them pause, you know?
Yeah, no, it would. And I think also the answers of it, like, are you a citizen? Yes, no, and then maybe underneath it could say, like, work visa, visiting, I don't know, like, what you could put down. I don't know if there's a way, and I don't even know if I agree with it completely, but I don't know if there's a way that we can make it so that, like, if that question gets added, there would be a statute put in that, like, that would not be used by, like, ICE or something like that to seek people out, I guess. I don't know, but I'm not sure of it, even if I agree with that. There's a lot of undocumented people, and honestly, everyone likes to speculate. Like, you know how Trump is. He's just saying, oh, yeah, Hillary got the popular vote, but that's because there's a lot of undocumented. I don't know if that's true. I don't think so, but who knows? No, everyone speculates how many, undocumented immigrants we have, but I mean, this might be a way to find out how many, but again, people can just lie. I mean,
Exactly.
There's millions of people. Like, it'd be very easy to do.
I mean, if like 1% of the people lie on the census, then it's not an accurate count.
Yeah. So, well, I guess we'll see in June what the Supreme Court does. I'm interested to see, but yeah.
Plus, according to Trump, the country's full.
We're full?
Yeah.
We still take in 1 million legal immigrants every year. Every year, over 1 million people come into this country.
That's good.
We're pretty generous.
I have nothing against immigration.
No problem.
Legal immigration. I have
Why not?
absolutely nothing against it. I mean, my ancestors were immigrants. Your ancestors were immigrants.
Nope. I'm full-blown Cherokee.
Sure.
Full-blown Cherokee. All right, well, let's talk about the main topic of this week that dominated the news cycle. I don't have any information because I don't need to. Joe Biden. He's here, and he's touching you. So this is not really news. A lot of the podcasters I watch, they say for Republicans this isn't anything new. I don't think for anyone in the country this is anything new. Recently, Joe Biden, some videos surfaced, but the main thing is that two women, or I think it was one woman, accused him of inappropriate, unwanted touching and kissing, I guess. Now, it was known that, I don't know, I forget her name, but the actual person that did that, it was shown that she actually is part of Beto O'Rourke's campaign. So this is like the timing of this is pretty obvious.
I was unaware of that.
You didn't know that? See, that's why you need to watch more conservative news outlets. They don't hide anything. This woman actually, they were talking that she actually was part of Beto O'Rourke's campaign. So while they were laughing at Joe Biden, it's like, come on, this is pretty obvious what she's doing. I guess she was at, before she made the accusation, she was at a rally 2 days earlier. But anyway, that's besides the point. Joe Biden, I don't need to show any videos. I don't need to show any photos, but I will. There you go. So yeah, he likes to touch everyone really inappropriately. I'm sure have you seen the videos and stuff?
Yeah, it is awkward.
It's really awkward, and I kind of agree with what some people were talking about. I don't think he's doing it maliciously. I truly don't. I don't think he thinks he's doing anything wrong.
Yeah. I can agree with that because it's literally everyone.
It's everyone. The guy's touching men, women, children. He doesn't care. But it's disturbing when you see him put his hand on a little girl's shoulder and start lowering it down, and then the little girl's visibly uncomfortable and starts shifting, and he's moving closer. When you see something like that, it's just come on, what are you doing? But I truly don't think he understands what he's doing. The guy's been a senator since 1990 something. I don't know. I don't know when he was a senator, but I think he's just, he was vice president for a decade, literally the second most powerful man in the world. And he just
thinks he can touch.
He's just very affectionate is what I think someone said. But the thing is, I like what someone said. They're just listen, if you're questioning whether this is inappropriate or not, this is what I want you to do. Next time you meet your relative or your best friend's wife or whatever, just go up, put your hands on her shoulder, and smell her hair. How is that okay? Is that all right? Absolutely, that'd be weird, and your best friend would have every right to punch you in the face.
Yeah. So
it's weird. It's strange.
I think it's more like a Grandpa Biden kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's just you know how some old people are. Mm-hmm. They're just
they're very.
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't think he's malicious. I don't think he's doing that. I don't think he's I can get. I don't think going through his mind. I don't think he's I can get away with this. I'm the vice president. I'm going to touch and smell everything. I just think he's that way, and he needs to. I don't know.
I've been a politician since before cameras were very widespread, so I can do whatever I want.
Pretty much.
He probably doesn't think that everybody in that crowd has a camera, but everyone in that crowd has a camera.
Video cameras right on the guy, and he's still doing it. He's not hiding.
Yeah.
But people were asking the Democratic candidates what they think, and Elizabeth Warren was commenting, and her campaign's going down the tube. But anyway, she's they're just oh, do you think he shouldn't run now? And he's well, that's up to him. Honestly, I think he's going to run. He's right now in the really early polls. He's ahead, above who was it, Gilbert, the senator, and Booker and Harris. So he's polling like at 30%. So I think if he announced, I don't think this is going to stop him. And I don't think that this is going to be anything. I think this will be something for Trump to joke about if he gets all the way to the primary.
Yeah, but if Trump jokes about it, then it's just like, all right, whatever. I
Like, could you imagine if Trump like shakes his hand like right before like a debate, and he's like, "Do you want to smell my hair?" Like, something like that. So much ammo, but
I mean, it's like Trump has so many allegations against him at the same time that it's just like, all right.
I'll tell you what.
Whatever.
I like Biden, but at the same time, I feel like he deserves this a little bit because he was quoted. I think this was a couple months ago, saying how he disagrees highly with Mike Pence's views, but Mike Pence is a decent guy. And then everyone just started bombarding Biden. He's not a decent guy. He's against homosexuals and all this stuff. He's like, okay, he's not a decent guy. Like, he backpedaled like crazy. And it's just like, no, like, you're just going to give in like that? Like, you could disagree with someone extremely and still think they're, a decent person, which Mike Pence is. You might hate all of his views, but, it's not like he's a...
Leftist people are having a hard time.
They can't comprehend a difference of opinion. It's just not there. So,
I mean, like, it's just like, how, it's hard to say. I'm confused on it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I just feel like they're just eating their own, when it should be something easy enough to get behind someone and push over Trump, But I don't know. It just seems like they're stumbling to get started.
I mean, it just feels like, 2015, where there was 1,000.
Oh, 2016, 2015, when all the Republicans are running. Yeah, and they were harping on each other too, but I feel like it was a little bit more civil than other than Trump. Other than Trump with Jeb and everyone. Other than Trump, I feel like all the other Republicans were pretty good, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe Biden, creepy. He's here.
Did we have anybody else announced for president?
I actually didn't have Hickenlooper, that guy we were talking about last week. I didn't have him in the photo.
Oh.
Everyone's talking about Biden like he's running, but technically he didn't officially announce his campaign.
Right.
So I'm not adding his photo yet.
When you do,
yeah,
give him giant hands
I already
and
know
have
where
him
I'm
touching everybody else.
You know how everyone's below? Like, here's the photo of everyone below. Trump's above everyone. I'm going to put him above Trump. Just gently above just gently above his neck.
Smelling his
Biden.
Oh, Biden.
So,
Biden, if you want to come on the podcast.
yeah, right. Clear your name. Actually, he was in Scranton this week.
Well, he's from Scranton.
Well, yeah, no, he was visiting his hometown or home house. I don't know where he lives.
Yeah.
I just know he's in PA.
If you come back to Scranton, Mr. Biden.
Stop by.
Come on.
I got an extra seat for you.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a drum stool.
It's a drum throne, but that's fine.
It's an expensive drum throne.
Yeah, it's probably more comfortable than these chairs.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's all we got for this week.
Yeah. Join us next week when we talk about.
See ya.
Bye.